I like to answer these questions. Once you have attained a jhana, since it's so blissful, can we not focus on breath at least for a while to just enjoy the bliss? Or we must follow the breath at all times? Now, when you attain a jhana, your blissful feeling will stay as long as you are in jhana. When you come out of it, you will not have that feeling, but the breath will remain very calm and peaceful. So at that time you stay with your breath. And that also will not last too long because of various other activities going on. Therefore, you may lose it. But when you are in jhana, definitely you can stay in the feeling of bliss. And soon after coming out of it, that bliss will no longer be there, but the breath is very, very calm and soothing. You stay with that until you lose that. So when you get it back, you start practicing again. When I meditate in a group, I sometimes find myself affected by the moods and energy of people around me. For example, if many people feel agitated and restless, I can sometimes find myself feeling that way as if I am them, despite trying with determination to stay concentrated in those moments. I sometimes find my mood and concentration impacted. What can I do to keep my concentration? Actually, it is true that when people are restless, agitated and move or breathe very heavily, a person sitting next to that person also will feel little restless. Sometimes some people even get annoyed. And that is very true. In a group, we all try to cooperate and practice metta towards each other. And when we move very slowly, mindfully, and try to stay as calm as possible so that everybody can help everybody. Here actually is a very good situation to practice metta towards oneself as well as towards everybody. We all feel very much connected. Therefore, it is true somebody cannot practice concentration when other things are going on around the person. I would say if possible, ignore them and return to the breath and breathe very quickly several times in order to bring your awareness of breath back to your breath, so that you can try. I don't have any magic to give you to stay concentrated if things, disturbing things are happening all the time around you. Can you talk more about the bright light that can develop with concentration practice? Does it mean I can, I'm closer to the first jhana if I see a bright light? Of course, if everything is calm and hindrances are subsided, no more hindrances, at that time if you have a bright light, that is a good sign of gaining concentration. You stay with that, and then your bright light actually is the sign of luminous state of mind, luminosity, that you experience, and then if you at that time you are not agitated, excited, and stay with it, then you gain very good concentration. Yeah, you are close to the first jhana. Metta is often translated as loving kindness. Is there a particular reason for loving friendliness? You know, I prefer loving friendliness, but now most popular term is loving kindness. Almost everybody is using loving kindness. So even my next book coming in March next year, has the same title called Loving Kindness. What to do? Although I prefer loving friendliness. So you can read two of my writings will come up. One is Loving Friendliness in March. Other is Mindfulness in Plain English Journal. You will have a journal coming in December, either on my birthday or on the 20th of December, just before Christmas, that you can use to write. There are, some sentences taken from my book, and then blank space with rules, lines. So you read the message there and write your whatever you feel like writing. Keep a journal. So that will be coming in December. Anyway, I just wanted to mention loving friendliness now coming up as loving kindness. The reason why I like to use loving friendliness is literally metta. Metta comes from the word mitta. You look up in the dictionary. Mitta means friend. Mitta means friend. Mitta's nature is metta. In Sanskrit, mitra, and mitra's nature is maitri. So in Pali, metta, a friend, a friendliness, Sanskrit maitri, friendliness. That is why I like to use that term. Because another reason, in the four Brahmaviharas, metta, karuna, mudita, upekha. Karuna is compassion or kindness. Now, if we say metta, kindness, and karuna also kindness. What is the difference? So one should be friendliness, literally because of the word, the origin, root of metta is friendly, mitta means friend. So I try to persuade others, they don't want to accept my explanation. So I don't quarrel, I go with the crowd. In what ways do you think a romantic, okay. Romantic, because when I saw the next word, I thought this may not be a monastic. Romantic relationship like marriage can support one's practice. Okay. In what ways do you think a romantic relationship like marriage can support one's practice? Now, if both who are in romantic relationship, if both agree to practice meditation and they both make a schedule and both meditate following the schedule, they will have a wonderful relationship. There will not be any disagreement, quarrels and so forth. Why? As both are practicing meditation, their minds become very, very clear, clean, and less emotion, less bickering, less arguments. So the life can go very smoothly if both of them. If one practice meditation, other go to turn on the TV very loudly, then there will be very, very difficult problem. So there must be an agreement. Otherwise, these two will not go, they will go haywire, going to different directions. In what ways can't be a distraction? The second way is distraction, because there is no agreement. Did the Buddha's path of enlightenment ask us to let go ultimately of romantic partnerships? It naturally drops from your mind. Buddha gave the path, gave the method. When we follow that method, and very honestly and sincerely, slowly and gradually, your romantic feelings, which of course is rooted in desire, in greed, craving, clinging. When craving or clinging, desire fades away, there is no romantic relationship. But your relationship with everybody in the world, not only one person. People sometimes ask me, why don't you marry? Good reason. I mean, that time is already past anyway. Even those days I said, if I married, my love will be limited to one person. If I don't, it is boundless. I can love anybody everywhere, not in the romantic way, but in a friendly way. I can be friendly with anybody, anywhere, all over the universe, as long as I'm not bound to one person. My love is not limited. So, why? This is loving friendliness. When we have loving friendliness, there is no limitations. We curtail your practice by putting the boundary around you, trying to one person. Anyway, romantic relationship will disappear, but the real loving friendliness will appear eventually. That appears when the clinging, craving or desire fades away. Can people with conditions like autism, bipolar, Asperger's, schizophrenia become monks or nuns? No. Actually, these are obstacles to becoming monks or nuns because they cannot live monk's life or nun's life and attain liberation. Therefore, it is not possible for them to become monks or nuns. Not admitted to any monastery or monk's monastery or nun's monastery. Because of very practical reasons. Of course, they need to be institutionalized to get professional treatments, to live reasonably, relatively normal life. Can you say something about the elephant to footprint simile, Sutta Majjhima Nikaya? This is, of course, very long sutta. I cannot talk very much about it. That's called Chula Hatti Padopama Sutta. The first sutta delivered in Sri Lanka in the 3rd century BC when Buddhism was introduced to Sri Lanka. There are two elephant simile suttas. One is Chula Hatti Padopama, other is Mahahatti Padopama. Chula Hatti Padopama, both are equally very deep discourses. Hatti, elephant, pada, footprint, upama, simile. That means when somebody wants to catch the biggest bull elephant, one would go into a forest and follow the footprints of elephants, and then finally eliminating all the she elephants, female elephants, young elephants, ordinary elephants. The person goes to the bull, the leader of the elephant. Because the elephant footprint, this simile is very good. Elephant footprint is so big that all other animals' footprints can put into elephant footprint, not all at once, but any of, suppose you take right foot of any animal and put into right footprint of elephant, that can fit easily. Whether it is lion or buffalo or rhinoceros or what is the other big animal in Africa in water? Hippopotamus. They also are big. They have also big footprints. But any footprints can go into elephant footprints because that is the largest. Elephant has 4 footprints. Similarly, there are 4 noble truths. All other truths can go into these 4 noble truths. All other truths that Buddha taught can go into these 4 noble truths. So the simile has very deep meaning and it's a good discourse. What is reborn? Is it the mind? Now, if you say the mind is reborn, that means mind goes from life to life. The same mind goes from life to life. That Buddha denies. There is a discourse in Majjhima Nikaya called Maha Tanha Sankhya Sutta. Maha Tanha Sankhya Sutta is delivered to teach the nature of consciousness to a monk called Sati. This venerable disciple monk of the Buddha thought that the same consciousness goes from life to life. Buddha called him and advised him, reprimanded him, don't believe in that, don't say that. It is not the same life. Mind goes from life to life. If the same mind goes to life to life, if you believe in that, that belief is called eternalism. It goes from life to life without any break. That is eternalistic view. That is one extreme. We have to avoid that. Of course, other extreme is nothing happen after death, we finish. That is very typical materialistic view called nihilistic view or nihilism. So avoid this eternalism and nihilism and then follow the middle path. That is, depending on causes and conditions, something happens. So depending on this life's commitment, karma, desire, ignorance, these are the 3 factors that triggers a new life somewhere after death. In that life, again, the results of karma become the cause. Desire is the nourishment called moisture, and ignorance is the supporter. So these 3 karma is called sankhara. Greed is the thing that supports it, and ignorance also supports. So life continues again. But it is not the same consciousness that is reborn, nor is it completely different consciousness. Why? Because this new consciousness is not the same as the previous one. No, it is totally different, but it arises depending on the previous karma, ignorance and desire. And therefore, it has all the karmic force to continue that life. Please give us the steps to reach stream entry from fourth jhana. Does the stream enterer have to be certified by a meditation teacher? I think that I answered day before yesterday when I was answering questions or giving a talk, giving my Dhamma talk, I answered this question. That is that when you attain the stream entry, you don't need any certificate, you know that you enter it. But the step-by-step, approach, I can just mention, but this is not the time to elaborate. This is how I interpret the way we attain the stream entry. There is an interpretation which we will never find in sutras. It is typical Abhidhamma explanation. But according to sutras, we keep practicing Noble Eightfold Path. That is our main core heart of practice. Noble Eightfold Path. Keep practicing in day and night, all our life, we keep practicing. And then, when it becomes 100% clear to us in our mind, not fully realized but intellectually, we understand it perfectly well, very clearly. Then one day we will see this Dhamma is very, very true. We see it. We see the Noble Eightfold Path in our life, and Noble Eightfold Path is the Dhamma, and then we will see it very, very clearly. And then all our doubt about Dhamma, doubt about the Buddha, doubt about supremely enlightened disciples, doubt about our moral practice completely vanish, disappear, never to come back again, no doubt whatsoever. That moment, your Noble Eightfold Path become supramundane Noble Eightfold Path. Only name change, but the practice is the same. Name change because you are more deeply, you understand Noble Eightfold Path very deeply. And as you understand Noble Eightfold Path very deeply, your doubt vanish. The moment doubt completely vanishes from your mind, you are in the stream entry path. From that onward, you are following the Noble Eightfold Path again. You never leave Noble Eightfold Path behind. This always with you. But now you practice is more deep understanding. And then you will see all the rituals any kind of rituals we follow is useless, meaningless. Just ritual. They are called unwholesome habits. Habitually we follow rituals. And they don't bring us enlightenment at all. They simply, I must say, waste of time. And so you give up your believing in attaining liberation by following rituals. And still you are in the stream empty path. So one day, as you keep practicing Noble Eightfold Path, which includes meditation, concentration, and effort and all this, keep practicing, then one day, and during your Noble Eightfold Path practice, especially when you come to Vipassana and Samatha meditation, concentration meditation, you see impermanence perfectly well. Everything is, you see, permanently impermanent. There's no any fraction of your life, any experience, anything, anywhere in the world, anywhere in the universe that is permanent. Nothing. You name anything that is impermanent. You will see that. That moment you enter the stream empty fruition stage. So a stream empty path is one, the fruition of it is another, the result. So you keep practicing Noble Eightfold Path again. Then the gross part of your anger, hatred, the grudge, people have so much sometimes hatred. I cannot explain it how bad it is. That kind of hatred or anger, resentment will fade away, disappear. But still anger is there. Anger is there, but not as such an intensity as before. It fades away. The moment that anger, resentment, hatred becomes weak, you enter the stage called once returner stage, path, once returner's path. And you keep practicing Noble Eightfold Path again and again and again. Then the very oozing greed, desire. People have desire, craving, so much that you cannot even imagine. That type of gross desire fade away. That moment you enter the once returner's fruition stage. Even the once returner's path stage and fruition stage. Then you still have greed and anger, but when the greed is totally vanishes from your mind, you keep practicing Noble Eightfold Path all the time. I don't have to repeat that. When the greed will completely vanish from your mind, clinging, craving, desire for this and that, romantic and this and that, all will disappear. That moment you enter the never returner's path. And you keep practicing Noble Eightfold Path again and again, then hatred or anger will completely vanish from your mind, then you enter the never returner's fruition stage. Then you still keep practicing Noble Eightfold Path. That is the only path. Esova maggo nathanya Buddha said, this is the only path in the Buddha's teaching. Keep practicing Noble Eightfold Path. Then you destroy the desire for existing in fine material form, in some way, in fine material form. That moment you enter the Arahanthood path. and you keep practicing Noble Eightfold Path, then one by one, desire for immaterial existence, conceit, restlessness will be destroyed, and still you are in the Arhantud path. The moment your ignorance completely vanishes from your mind, you attain the Arhantud fruition stage. These are the stages. This is how we attain it. These are called 8 individuals and 4 pairs. 4 pairs are those who stream entry, path attainer and fruition attainer, 1 pair. Once returners, path attainer, fruition attainer, another pair. Never returners, path attainer and fruition attainer, another pair. Arahant, path attainer and fruition attainer, another pair. These are the 4 pairs, and those are the 8 individuals. They are distinctly, definitely separate 8 individuals, not one thought moment. Okay, another question. I hope I can finish all this. So many questions, I took a lot of time in this. If we can sit in a chair for hours without hurting when meditating, why do we want to sit cross-legged and endure all the pain? What is the benefit of that? Sure. We don't insist that everybody sit on a cushioned cross-legged position. If sitting on the cross-legged position is difficult, by all means sit in chairs. Because perhaps at your age you might not like to learn new posture, which is very painful. The reason why those who sit in cross-legged position is that gives you very steady sitting, and you are not falling asleep. And at the beginning it is painful, but later on you get used to it, and then you really have very good concentration. Sitting in chairs you also can gain concentration, but you tend to lose it very quickly because chairs are too comfortable. When I get angry at someone, how can I stop this feeling? I give a separate talk on this tomorrow. Can you explain pay attention to the breath? Is it attention on the breath while remaining aware of senses? Actually, paying attention to breath itself brings up a sensation, feeling of breath. You cannot avoid. There is no way to pay attention to the breath without feeling. You feel the breath. There's no, even when you open eyes, can you see the breath? Can you touch the breath? Can you smell the breath although it is going through the nose? Of course you can smell if there is something, pleasant or unpleasant mixed with the air. Otherwise, when you breathe pure air, you cannot smell it, you cannot touch it, you cannot see it, you cannot hear. Of course, you can hear if somebody you breathe very quickly, heavily. Otherwise, the only way to know the breath is the feeling of breath. The feeling is always there, and without any additional things, focus your mind on that. That's a pure attention pure awareness of breath. We say pure awareness of breath, although there is a feeling with the breath, and we can say pay attention to the feeling mixed with, pay attention to the breath mixed with feeling. You might say that. But feeling is there. Will you please repeat your explanation of initial application of thought and sustained thought? Okay, let me be brief. Initial application of thought is thought of letting go, thought of loving friendliness or loving kindness or metta, and thought of compassion. These three together called initial application of thought. That means our mind let go of desire, which is one of the hindrances. Our mind let go of anger, that also is one of the hindrances. And our mind let go of thought of cruelty, that is a part of anger. So instead we have the thought of letting go means generosity. Generosity means not holding on to anything. It let go, let go, let go. And practicing metta, loving friendliness, and practicing compassion. These three thoughts arise in the mind when we practice meditation, trying to gain concentration. Of course, you cannot concentrate when you hold on to something, nor can you gain concentration when you have anger or thought of cruelty. So you let go all of them and instead let the mind be filled with generous feeling, friendly feelings, and compassionate feeling. I have faith and morality. I sit on the cushion and develop concentration. Now what do I do to attain jhana? These three are very good, and then to let go of your hindrances. Recognize them and let go of them. What steps do I follow to regain it when I lose it? I mentioned this yesterday, 5 ways of regaining it. Once you lose it, you reflect what you have attained. You have to remember what you attained and how you attain it. Then you determine to attain it, determine to get out of it, and then attain it. Then get out of that state or come out of that mental state. These are the 5 steps. You repeat it several times, then you will master the attainment. Okay. Is samsara more like subjectively experienced labyrinth, or an objective maze containing all beings and their subjective experience? Now, it is a labyrinth in a way because it goes zigzag here and there, not linear existence. That is what is called the repetition of birth and death is called samsara. When we say repetition of birth and death means we are not going only in one direction. We go in many different directions. Today man, tomorrow woman, tomorrow next day man, and today man, next time a ghost, another time animal, another time divine being. Like that, you go zigzag here and there, here and there. Exactly, it is a labyrinth. Like the maze, for the mice to go here and there, you don't know the beginning. So that is exactly true. Good simile for samsara. Often I find that right before or during a period of deep release that then leads to a period of deep concentration, the same recurring images appear, elements, fire, water, earth, or religious symbols. Do we just notice them or actively work with images to deepen our focus? We just notice them and let them pass as they come. Don't perpetuate them by or enforce them by thinking of them.